Like I said, about to go get a quick morning workout, and just chill for a little bit, man, before I head down to the MGM Grand Garden Arena. I'm gonna leave a little bit early, try to get down there as early as possible, give me a good spot. Still media stuff to do. Got to get me some interviews and stuff. I missed a lot of stuff yesterday. So, but I mean, it is what it is. But I'll catch these guys today, so I'll get some interviews today. Try to see can I get a exclusive with the Bob father because I got some questions that I gotta ask Bob Aram. But I want to talk about Jimmy Butler, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with this series because there's still a lot of basketball to be played. But I can tell you this much: Jimmy Butler is gonna give it his all in this series. You know, he got them, over the hump in game one. Jimmy Butler, even though he's been hurt, missed games, has some issues on the court. Nothing like nothing bad or anything. It's just that he's, been hurt a lot and missed a lot of games. But Jimmy Butler, he one of them dudes. You want to see him leave the league with a ring, and I think he deserves it. And keep in mind, he was one of the very last players taken in the first round. He came out of the same draft with Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving. Who else was in that draft? Kawhi Leonard. You know, so him to be drafted number 30 and go on to have the career he's had. And I mean, he shows up to play in big moments. Unlike James Harden, who I've been hearing played a pivotal role in Doc Rivers being removed. But my thing is with James Harden, well, what was the case all the other places you played? Why you couldn't win? But watching Jimmy Butler play, especially last night, the boy is good, man. The boy is good. Well, I mean, like I said, it's still plenty of basketball to be played. If the Celtics go on to win this series, which I'm kind of leaning towards the Celtics because I just believe that the league wants a Celtics Lakers finals. People need to understand something about the NBA. They're not ran like how the NFL is ran, where basically any team could go to the Super Bowl and it'll draw ratings. Keep in mind, the Super Bowl is one game. So basically everything is on the line in that one game, where the NBA is a series. They have to win 4 games before they become a champion. And then people may not like this particular team. Once again, you always hear about ratings. Like I said, it was funny. I was having a conversation with Ellie Setback, and he said the same thing that I'm basically saying in this video. And Ellie Setback, he started with the NBA, and they actually, to a certain degree, want him to come back. Ellie Setback can get a job in the NBA right now if he wanted to, working in the NBA. He said out of his own mouth the NBA wants certain teams to go to the finals for ratings purposes, for financial purposes. They hated when the Spurs went to the finals. They hated it because the Spurs were considered boring. They were too much of a blue-collar workhorse team, and people hated seeing them in the finals. Unfortunately, with Tim Duncan, he was what you call the quiet superstar. Tim Duncan, he doesn't give you anything, where LeBron James does. You don't even know where Tim Duncan is right now. And I don't mean like he doing the unthinkable or doing something out of line. He just not one of them guys that just has a long you know what I'm saying, partnership, ties, love affair with the game. Tim Duncan made his money, won his championships, went to the Hall of Fame, and he's out. Periodically, he'll show up. And the league, they don't like that kind of stuff. They don't like teams like the Spurs. And I'm telling you now, they are praying. They are praying that the Nuggets don't go to the finals. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? World Combat Sports in the building. Subscribe to World Combat Sports. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a pecking order. It's a system that they got in place. They don't like certain they do, and when I say they don't like certain teams going to the finals, they don't. You got to understand that the NFL is different. It's it's two teams, one game. Everything is on the line. All the marbles, everything at stake. Like I said, you got to play a 7-game series, and you got to win first team to win 4 games. So, like I said before, you think they want it? I'm serious. And the funny thing is, even though the Golden State Warriors draw good ratings every time they are playing in the finals or in the playoff, the NBA don't like it because it's not LeBron. So they basically want to see a team like the Celtics and the Lakers in the finals. Even though they'll settle for the Heat because people like going to Miami. I've been to Miami, and I can tell you one thing about Miami: you can get cocaine as easy as you can get. Like I'm talking about, like it's just so easy to get drugs out there. And I'm not endorsing cocaine use. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. How many times you've heard these reporters say, "Oh, well, you know, when it comes to the finals, you know, I'd rather be here," than which you shouldn't say, because you basically showing a clear bias saying that you're rooting for a team to win because you don't want to go cover the finals in a certain spot. I've been to Denver a couple of times, and I can tell you Denver ain't nothing like LA in the summer, Las Vegas in the summer, New York, Atlanta, none of those type of places. I've never been to Chicago. Like I said, all those places have like good nightlives and stuff. So like I said before, Denver, their airport is like maybe like 45 minutes to an hour outside of the city. So their airport isn't even close to the damn city. It's like a ways. And I remember that incident that I had in Denver when I went to that Raider game versus the Broncos. And I already told that story. So this is what I'm saying. And I didn't mean to get off the subject, but I do want to get back to Jimmy Butler. Like I said before, Jimmy Butler is a sensational basketball player. He really is, man. He's a sensational basketball player. Hopefully, when it's all said and done, hopefully he gets, get to go to the Hall of Fame, because I think he's working on becoming a Hall of Fame player. I don't know if he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but then again, Tracy McGrady went to the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, and that pretty much changed everything, because people are still trying to figure out how did Tracy McGrady get into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Tracy McGrady was a hell of a basketball player, but he slowed down a lot. Tracy McGrady never got out of the first round of the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. So he never went deep into the playoffs. Jimmy Butler has led a team to the finals. He led the Miami Heat to the finals. And if they get in, right now, they're in the conference championship. They're in the Eastern Conference Championship because the boy can ball. But you have to understand, sometimes you have those stars where they kind of go unrecognized because, unfortunately, you have to play in the era with the bigger names. Unfortunately, Jimmy Butler had to play in the era with, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, of course, Kevin Durant, guys like that. James Harden's overrated ass. So that kind of happens. You have those players that kind of don't get they just due. And then, to be honest with you, you can make the same argument about Damian Lillard. But the problem is with Damian Lillard, shout out to Damian Lillard, East Oakland, Brookfield. Same with him. But I think Damian Lillard's problem is he's been too loyal to the Portland, saying he don't want to go play for the quote-unquote super team. Which, by the way, let me tell you guys something. That whole super team stuff, team stuff is complete cap. Okay? That whole super team is complete cap. All the way going back to the Boston Celtics. Havlicek, Kuzi, Russell, all those dudes. JoJo, all them dudes. That was a super team. They won, what? Out of 13 championship attempts, they won 11 of them. Bill Russell won 11 championships, 1 or 2 as a coach. Coaching the team. Once again, that whole super team is a false narrative. At the end of the day, you got to have other good players to win a championship. Like I said, that whole super team stuff started. They tried to say it happened with LeBron James when he went to the Miami Heat, which it wasn't really that much outrage with LeBron James going to the Miami Heat. It was more about LeBron James saying he taking his talents to Miami. I think it was just the way he left Cleveland that bothered people. But then what pissed me off, like I said, I'm not going to forget how they were just in all outraged about Kevin Durant. So you need, for the most part, you need the best players to win a championship. Let's not make it look like those Laker teams in the 80s wasn't stacked. Those Laker teams in the early 2000s had a whole bunch of, great players. What if Allen Iverson would have had a super team? I'm talking about Allen Iverson literally got that god-awful Philadelphia 76ers team, and I'm not knocking any of the brother from Philly. That Philadelphia 76ers team had no business going to the finals. What if they would, and the 76ers was so cheap, they never tried to get Allen Iverson no real help. They never had a legitimate number 2 or even a number 3 to play alongside Allen Iverson. It was literally Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers. Sort of like, hi, I'm David Ruffin and these are the Temptations. That's pretty much what Allen Iverson could have said. And like I said, people don't want to have no real conversations. Well, people, I mean, listen. Can we stop making it look like those Chicago Bulls teams didn't have no I mean, come on, man. Even Michael Jordan had a good supporting cast. He had decent players. They might have not all been Hall of Famers like Scottie Pippen. I mean, hell, you played alongside Scottie Pippen. A lot of people keep forgetting the Chicago Bulls had a losing record until Scottie Pippen showed up for the most part. Then they ended up getting Horace Grant and even though they were losing players, they were just, replacing them. So let's not make it look like those Chicago Bulls teams didn't have a good supporting cast. They give Michael Jordan too much credit. Yes, Michael Jordan was one of the best that ever did it. But let's not make it look like Michael Jordan. You would think. Keep in mind, Paxson sort of sealed the deal in that series with that shot he made. Steve Kerr made some big shots. You would think Michael Jordan, I'm serious, the way they talk about Michael Jordan winning those 6 championships, you would think Michael Jordan played all 5 positions. You would think Michael Jordan scored every point. Once again, Michael Jordan didn't win nothing until Scottie Pippen got there, and he said it out of his own mouth. He says he wouldn't have won those 6 championships without Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was a lockdown defender. Shamefully, disrespectfully underpaid. And ironic, Jimmy Butler started his career with the Chicago Bulls. But, that's what I'm saying. You can't win a championship unless you got a good supporting cast around you. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh. 3 Hall of Famers. And Chris Bosh, even though Chris Bosh got into the Hall of Fame, his second year eligibility, which he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, he in the Hall of Fame. So if you look at the history of basketball, you always had to have a good supporting cast. Magic Johnson played with arguably, at least, maybe after Michael Jordan, number 1, number 2, number 3, some people say Kareem is the greatest basketball player of all time. Enough said. Magic Johnson played alongside Kareem. He played with Byron. I mean, come on, man. Can we stop this? Can we stop the cap? He played with James Worthy, man. He played with Big Game James. And by the way, James Worthy was another guy that shouldn't have had to wait 3 years before he went to the Hall of Fame. So I'm just saying, basketball, you need a good roster. You need supporting players to win. So like I said, when everybody was sitting up here boo-hooing about the Warriors taking Kevin Durant, they had an opening. They had lost Harrison Barnes to free agency, in which, by the way, Harrison Barnes was terrible. And Harrison Barnes was terrible in that series with the Cleveland Cavaliers when the Warriors went 73-9. Like I said, man, can we please stop the cap, man? Can we please stop the cap, man? Yeah, we all know that, and I appreciate that. A lot of us just talk out the side of our ass. For real. That 76ers team that Allen Iverson played on, real talk, had no business going to the finals. But everybody celebrate the Lakers winning that championship in a team that they clearly were superior to. And like I said before, the Lakers, that was pathetic when they basically tried to get Gary Payton and Karl Malone. And they ended up getting destroyed by the Detroit Pistons. And would have got swept if Kobe Bryant wouldn't have hit that shot. And that was one of the very few cases where a so-called super team managed to get over the hump. But then again, Detroit was like the best defensive team that year. And by the way, like I said, they still would have won that championship had Rick Carlisle had still been the coach. Larry Brown pretty much did the same thing what happened with Steve Kerr and what happened with John Gruden when he went to coach the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which, by the way, they assisted John Gruden in winning that Super Bowl. I mean, can we keep it real? Can we keep it? I mean, for real, can we keep it real? And by the way, you can make an argument, and listen, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna continue to give props to Jimmy Butler, because I think Jimmy Butler should be in the Hall of Fame someday. Will he go in on the first ballot? That remains to be seen. But I'm gonna say this, and I had a conversation. I know it's not the fashionable or what you would call the, don't like to use that word. I ain't gonna say that word. It ain't fashionable to basically make a person that played good defense the finals MVP. But me, myself, I thought Tayshaun Prince should have been the finals MVP. I know they gave it to Chauncey Billups, but I felt that Tayshaun Prince should have been the finals MVP because he locked Kobe Bryant down. He basically gave Kobe Bryant fits. And that played a pivotal role in basically the Pistons winning that championship. That championship that's one of the few championships that wasn't really won on purely scoring. It was won off playing basically good defense. And Detroit's defense on the Lakers helped them win that championship. And I felt that Tayshaun Prince should have got it because, like I said, he bothered Kobe Bryant throughout that series. And some people gonna say that's you know it's not the hot thing to do. But I thought Chauncey Billups wasn't the Finals MVP. I thought they should have gave it to Tayshaun Prince. But they don't want to give MVP awards to dudes that and Tayshaun Prince. I don't know what his numbers was, but he scored. It's not like he put up points, but the way he locked down Kobe Bryant, I thought he should have been the Finals MVP. That's just my personal take. Yeah, Ben Wallace, he was great in that series too. But that's what I'm saying. That particular championship was not won on offense. It was won on playing good defense. That was where you can truly make the case that defense wins championships, but for the most part, really defense don't win championships. Because if you look at today's NBA game, you look at the scoring and everything, you look at all these games on a regular basis where teams are scoring 120 points on a regular basis. Yeah, it's won on offense because they want teams to score. They don't like those, and I talked to Too Raw about it like a month ago. He missed those days. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Between like 1996 and like the early 2000s, some of those games were eyesores. Watching games where teams were winning 86 to 79, or I was just like, my God. I was like some of them games were very hard to watch, man. And that's why they adjusted the rules to make it more offensively, I guess, fun for people that just rely strictly on seeing offense. The way they retool zone defense and stuff, because you see more zone than you see anything. So basically that's why it's easier for teams to shoot these threes and stuff, because they play a lot of zone. When they was playing man to man, like I said, and they wasn't calling fouls the way they was calling fouls then versus now. So that's the difference. Like I said, some of them 85 to 84 games, some of them was like unbearable. I was like, damn. I'm not gonna say I hated the NBA, but I was like, man, they need to fix it a little bit, adjust it a little bit to where it could be more scoring friendly. They did it with the NFL. Now look what happens. Now all of a sudden you seeing these Super Bowls that used to be like possibly 21 to 20 or 21 to 17 or something. Now all of a sudden you see games where the average Super Bowl score and a team scoring like 30 points now. But yeah, some of them NBA games were horrific. They were like pitiful to sit through. But I'm sorry. I mean, Do I think it could be a little bit more balanced as far as, letting the players play? Yeah, it could be. But yeah, them 84 to 81 games, like I said, sometimes they were just unbearable to watch. But yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Got to charge this phone. So stay tuned. I'm out.